Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be doing the mid-year book freakout tag. So it is that time of year again, and I will say I'm filming this slightly before the end of June, which I'm one of those people who I'm like, every book in June counts. Hello, so it is now future Rebecca. So past Rebecca was right, I am the person that includes every single book in June. So I will be popping in every so often because I filmed it on the 21st and I kind of presumed, okay, I might fit maybe one or two more books, but I think I have my answers to these. I was wrong. Some of my answers are not correct. So you'll see me again. I suppose let's just get into it. I have not done a lot of thinking to my answers. So this is very spur of the moment. We're gonna just wing it. So the first question is, what is the best book you've read this year? Just like a side note, I will not be including any rereads as like favorite books so far this year and all of that, because that's not very fair. But I don't think this answer will surprise anyone, but the best book I've read so far this year is Fool's Errand by Robin Hobb. This is the spin-off to the Farseer trilogy. I love this so much. It is so good. I'm so excited to continue the series. I gave this 5 stars. It was like my second 5-star of the year. Can't really tell you too much about this because, as I said, it is a spin-off to the Farseer trilogy. But the Farseer trilogy follows Fitz, who is abandoned at the keep by his maternal grandfather, and is basically told that he is the king-in-waiting chivalry's illegitimate son. Then his father flees to the countryside, and Fitz is brought to Buckkeep, where he is raised by the stablemaster, and he has a very hard life and things do not get easier for him. And this book, it had some really sweet moments, but there was also so much pain. So much pain. That is how all of these books go, and I'm sure the series will continue to do that. Question number 2 is best sequel of the year, and for this, can I prematurely say Witch Shadow by Susan Dennard? I have not started it yet, but I just know. And I will finish it before the end of June. I will update you if I am right. But I have 2 others, which are part of the same series, and that is The Kingdom of Copper and The Empire of Gold by S.A. Chakraborty. So these are part of the David trilogy. I read the first book earlier on in the year. I give it a 4 out of 5 stars. And I liked it, but it didn't blow my mind. And then I read The Kingdom of Copper in May, and it was brilliant. Brilliant. And this is what it is to be a good sequel. It takes everything that we got in the first book and it just builds on it. And it didn't have middle book syndrome. It wasn't just connecting the first book to the last book. There was its own plot in here. There was things that happened in here, and there was like plot points that were wrapped up, but there was also more being created. And then The Emperor of Gold, again, a brilliant finale. I just thoroughly loved it, and it was just so good. And I mean, I read this in like 3 days. Such a page turner, and I really loved where this series ended up going. So these are the best 2 sequels I've read. After reading The City of Brass, I did like that. I think it was like a low enough 4-star. I wasn't getting my hopes up about the series being like a new favorite. And these 2 absolutely knocked it out of the park. And these are what good sequels are to me. So best sequels. So then question number 3 is a new release that you haven't read yet. I'm trying to like think back to my anticipated releases video, and I don't think there's any. I mean, there's a couple on it that I haven't read, but none of them that I was like really invested in. So I suppose like the only one I can think of is Witch Shadow by Susan Dennard. But even then, that actually comes out tomorrow. I'm filming this on the 21st of June. Question number 4 is most anticipated release for the second half of the year. And I don't think I really have one. I do want to read 6 Crimson Cranes. I think that comes out in July. And I think Small Favors by Erin A. Craig also comes out in July, maybe? I'm not 100% sure of the dates of these things, but I guess those. But even then, they're not ones that I'm like really excited to have to pick them up on release day kind of excited. But I will definitely get to them. Question number 5 is your biggest disappointment. And these are always so hard for me. I never know what to say. I guess one that I'm disappointed in is The Bride Test by Helen Huang. It was a 3-star, which is a good rating, and I think people who read a lot of romance will enjoy it. I'm not a big romance reader, but For some reason last September I picked up the Kiss Quotient. It was my first ever adult romance, and I had the audiobook was there. I just put it on and I ended up really liking it. Then I read a load of romances coming to February to try and like find out whether I'm a romance reader. The answer, not really. I'll leave that vlog link down below though. I read The Bride Test because I was like, if there's any romance I'm going to like, it is going to be the sequel. And yeah, it was a 3-star. So I was a little let down, but like I still think probably most romance readers would probably enjoy it. And then A Sky Beyond the Storm by Salva Tahir. It was the final book in the Ember Quartet. I had mixed feelings about the series. The first one was a 4, the second one was a 3, the third one was a 4, and then again the last one was a 3. But I had heard like really good things about the finale. Like it was a great finale and a great ending to the story, and I thought it was really predictable. I actually liked it up to around the 70% mark, and then honestly like the last 30% was like a 1 or 2 star. I hated the ending of it, but I didn't want to like bring the whole rating down because I did actually enjoy it up to like the 70% mark. So it was a 3-star. It was a pretty disappointing ending to me. Question number 6 is your biggest surprise of the year. Okay, so I didn't actually have a really good answer for this when I first filmed it, but now I have the perfect answer. And if you've seen my June wrap up, which I will link down below, you will know what this answer is. And it is The Poet X by Elizabeth Acevedo, because it is YA, contemporary, written in verse. None of those are buzzwords for me, but I loved it. So question number 7 is a new favorite author, either debut or new to you. And I'm trying to think of like who I said for this last year. And this one is like, you're gonna be like, how is that a new favorite author for you? And you would be right thinking that, but I'm going to say Robin Hobb as like the first person, and you'll be like, you've been talking about her for about a year now. And the answer is yes, I have. Pastmate did a terrible job of explaining why only now I'm considering Robin Hobb a new favorite author. So last year, before last year's mid-year book for CAWPILE, I read only the first 2 Farseer books, and both of them were 4 stars. Then in July, I read Assassin's Quest. Loved that. And I considered Farseer Trilogy one of my favorite series, but not necessarily Robin Hobb a favorite author. And then all of her other books that I've read so far, The Live Ship Traders, I gave 4.5, 4. But Ship of Destiny, which I read this year, was like 2 points off a 5-star on CAWPILE. And then I also read the novella, which is also a very good 4-star. And then now I have finally also read Fool's Errand, which I gave 5 stars. And I have also now read The Golden Fool, which I have also given 5 stars. So I've like officially given 3 of her books 5 stars. So she is most certainly a favorite author. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I was like, okay, I really love this author, but I had only given 1 book of hers 5 stars. So it was like, is she a favorite if I've only given 1 book 5 stars? And now I've given 3, so she's definitely a favorite author. I'm not really sure does that count. Definitely someone who has made the like new favorite authors list is S.H. Chakraborty, and I can't wait for her to bring out more things so I can like cement that I like her as an author, not just this series. Also, if you didn't know, my favorite author of all time is V.E. Schwab. Other ones that I really love are obviously Robin Hobb, Susan Dennard, now S.H. Chakraborty, and I used to include Cassandra Clare on that list, but recently I've kind of been let down by her books. I suppose that could also go in like, what was a disappointing read to you? Chena Martin, it was a 4 stars. That is a good rating, but I'm just not in love with her books anymore. Question number 8 is a new fictional crush. I don't really get fictional crushes. I mean, I guess I liked Elend from the Final Empire, but honestly I didn't really like him that much in the second and third book. I really loved him in the first book. And then the next question is a new favorite fictional character, and again, I don't really have any new fictional favorite characters. I'm gonna have like 5-star books for me this year. I can Esta and Hart, no, because like Hart annoyed me in the first book, but I liked him in the second book. Esta I liked in the first book, but I didn't like her in the second book. Fool's Errand, I already love Fitz, and I also already love the Fool. So those are not new favorite characters for me. They are old favorite characters for me. I guess Nari and Ali from the David Bad trilogy, I do really love those. I fell in love with their characters, so I think I would count them. Then question number 10 is a book that made you cry. I don't really cry at books. I will like quickly go through all of the books I've read this year to see if there was any that even like made me like just emotional, because I'm not really a big book crier.
A few moments later.
Okay, so I am bending the rules for this one slightly. There was none that had me like full on crying. I'm breaking my don't mention rereads that I've done this year policy to mention A Darker Shade of Magic by B.E. Schwab and Blood Witch by Susan Dennard. So again, neither of these I actually like full on cried. I read both of these in June, and this is the collector's edition of this, and at the back of it, so it's not even actually the story that made me like cry or anything, like no. At the back of it, there is like 3 kind of short little stories about like where everyone thinks the magic came from. So one is from like Grey London, one is from Red, and one is from White. And the one that is from Red London's is literally 3 and a tiny bit pages long. It is called Brothers, and it is Rye and Kel first meeting. And like they don't even really meet in it. Like Rye just like sees Kel, and I may have teared up. At a 3 1/4 page little story, I may have teared up. I am not ashamed of that. And then I finished my reread of Blood Witch yesterday. I tabbed a lot. As you can see, I used pink and orange the whole way through, but then there's, what are these? These are yellow tabs. What are yellow tabs for? Chapter 50. Chapter 50 is one of my favorite chapters in any book ever, and I did tear up reading this. I love this chapter so much. It is, yeah, I teared up. I also posted a selfie on Twitter, which Susan Dennard retweeted, which is kind of embarrassing, but I'm okay with it. I put 7 tabs in like a 10-page chapter. I will be posting a reading vlog of me reading Witch Shadow and rereading Blood Witch will be included in that. And you can like slightly see me, because I filmed myself reading it, you can slightly see me like be a little teary, because I do wipe my eye at one point, but no tears fell. I'm not sure will that video be up before this or after this. I will link it whenever it is out. The Poet X also made me tear up, so now I don't have to break the reread rule. The Poet X did make me tear up, but I think it is definitely Elizabeth Acevedo's narration that makes you so emotional. Question number 11 is a book that made you happy, and like also Blood Witch. Like, this also made me happy. Those tears were not sad tears. They were happy tears because I love them. A Darker Shade of Magic also makes me happy, but again, okay, we're not breaking the reread rule for this one. So we're gonna actually try and find a book that I've read that made me happy. I mean, this is an obvious answer. Heartstopper Volume 4. I didn't reread this. This was a first time read. Actually, technically it was a reread because I read it as it came out online. But I only counted it as a read when I read the full volume. So this made me happy. Also, kind of Chain of Iron. There were some moments in here that are just like some of my favorite moments in the entire Shadowhunter world. But most of the book was a letdown. But there were some really cute moments. Question number 12 is like the most beautiful book you have bought or got this year. And again, well, no, it's not breaking, actually no, I was about to say this is breaking the rules, but it isn't because I haven't read these, but these are books that I have gotten this year. And I feel like this is kind of cheating, but these beautiful Illumicrate editions of The Infernal Devices are gorgeous. I'm not going to take them out of the box. Actually, I'll take one out of the box. They're all like that, but they're different colors. They are beautiful. I love them a lot. These are definitely the most beautiful books I have gotten this year. That's not breaking like the reread rule because like I only bought those this year. Other ones, like this edition of A Dark Shade of Magic, I do think it's really nice. Like underneath is just this gold, and there's like a lot of illustrations on the inside of the dust jacket, and there's also like this map. So, and it has a ribbon. The Kingdom of the Back by Marie Lu. I find this such a stunning cover. Usually I like covers that have a bit of foiling on it, but this one is an exception to it. It's a matte cover, but it is just gorgeous. I think that's like the prettiest cover I have this year that I like, that aren't like special editions. And then the final question, is there any books you have to get through before the end of the year? And there's none that I really need to get to. Again, Witch Shadow I am going to get to as soon as possible. I would like to actually read The Kingdom of the Back to see if the beautiful cover matches what's inside. Like the Henna Wars, I would like to get to that at some point. Furyborn, I'm supposed to have already read this. Whoops. More Robin Hobb. I'm trying to think of the schedule. So I will have read the Tawny Man trilogy this year, and will also have started the next series in it, which I can't remember. The Rainwelds? The Rainbow Chronicles, I think. I have also started rereading like A Dark Shade of Magic, so I would like to finish my reread of those. I'm not sure, but I've been kind of thinking about rereading The Mortal Instruments and The Infernal Devices. I'm not too interested in reading The Dark Artifices, but I know there is connections to The Dark Artifices that connect into The Last Hours, but like if I like commit to reading all of them, and like I'd want to read them before next March when Chain of Thorns comes out. So I don't know. So that brings us to the end of this video. I spoke for way too long as usual. So thank you guys so much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed. If you did, subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye!